Hello everyone, welcome to today's explainer. Today we're going to learn something really useful, how to express cause and effect in English. It's a very important skill, and I promise you it's much easier than it sounds. Let's get started.
Let's begin with a very simple question. Why do things happen and what is the result? Every day we see connections all around us. It rains, so the street gets wet. You study hard, so you pass your exam. This connection between an action and its result is exactly what we are looking at today.
So what is the big idea here? Let's talk about what these two words actually mean. What is a cause? The cause is why something happens. It's the reason. And what is an effect? The effect is what happens as a result. Think of the cause as the starting line and the effect as the finish line. One action directly leads to the next. Now let's look at how we write this in English. First, we have causes that use just a noun, just one thing.
Here are three very important connecting words: because of, due to, and owing to. These words all share one special rule. After you write these words, you must only use a simple noun. You do not write a long full sentence.
Let's read an example together. Because of pollution, many species disappear. Notice the words because of. What comes right after them? Just the word pollution. Pollution is a noun. It is not a full sentence. So remember, always use because of with a noun.
Great job! Now, let's look at our second group. These are causes that need a full sentence, meaning a subject and a verb.
This group of words includes because, since, and as. These are different from that first group. After these words, you must write a complete sentence, so you need a subject and you need a verb.
Let's see this rule in action. Since temperatures rise, ice caps melt. Notice the word since. What comes right after it? Temperatures rise. We have our subject, temperatures, and our verb, rise. It's a complete sentence.
It's really important to see the difference between these two rules. On one hand, we use just a noun, because of pollution. On the other hand, we use a full sentence, because pollution increases. Just keep this simple difference in mind.
You are doing great. Now that we know how to talk about causes, let's switch over to the results. Let's look at expressing effects.
Here are our connecting words for effects: therefore, as a result, consequently, and so. These words are very strong. They basically tell the reader, get ready, here comes the result. When you use these words, they usually start a brand new sentence or a brand new part of the sentence.
Here is a clear example for you. We waste water. As a result, droughts increase. First, we have a complete thought, followed by a pause. Then, we start the new part with our effect word, as a result, and we finish with the effect itself. Droughts increase. Let's try one more example. CO2 is rising, therefore the planet is warming. First, we give the cause. CO2 is rising. Then, we use our strong effect word to start the new idea, therefore. And finally, the result. The planet is warming.
Okay, we have covered a lot, but don't worry. I have a golden rule for you, and it's very easy to remember. This is a perfect summary for you to write down. Just remember this. Because of and due to are followed by a noun. Because and since are followed by a full sentence. And finally, therefore and as a result start a completely new sentence. Remembering these three simple rules will really help you succeed in your English exams.
And that brings us to the end. You can now clearly explain causes and effects in English. Amazing job! So I want to leave you with one final question to think about. How will you explain causes and effects in English today? Try using these new words in your next homework assignment. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep up the great work!